clock out, come home and drink away. To bash and burn the weekly plays. Douchey calls and sweaty balls, this is Scotch Sporting.
Oh, shoot. Shoot, I was looking at something else.
Always distracted
the
as soon as the song
11-second
ends.
intro.
But there's no baby in your lap this time.
I know. The
What?
world's I'm slowly, I got nothing.
How do you even know how to, I don't know what to do with my hands.
I have 2 drinks.
Just put them down.
That's-
Just put them down by your side.
That's what you do with your hands. You have 2 drinks in them.
Oh, it's like that. Oh, boy.
Gooper in the cone. That's an old school joke.
That
Okay,
is-
so before the podcast, we were talking about content creators,
Right.
and you are in the top what percent of
It's 5%.
Twitch streamers?
Right. And that's
Period.
exactly. If you take every broadcaster on Twitch, I average between 40 and 80 viewers for my streams, and that is enough to be considered in the top 5%.
Do we have an
That's-
applause on the soundboard? Let's
No.
hit that.
No, because it doesn't deserve
That's like
applause.
that's like
Slow
pyramid
clap?
scheme, where it's like 2%, like less than 1% of the people are the one making. Then it's like, oh, see, you can make millions of dollars.
Right. And that's the case. Like the people who actually make a full-time living, it's less than 1%.
Well, and so tell me, and then we were talking about selling bathwater.
Yeah, so there was a very popular live streamer, it's Belle Delphine, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I think that's the name.
So she got wise to an interesting way to make money, and that was to sell her bathwater. So you would order a jar of bathwater that she bathed in, allegedly.
With no way off. Yeah,
There's no certificate of authenticity with it. I mean,
I'm
maybe there
Googling
was,
her.
but I mean, she
I doubt
definitely just turned on the tap and poured some water
Yeah.
in. Like,
absolutely.
Is she Asian or is this offensive?
No, she's not.
no.
She's
Bit of-
very much a white girl.
Yeah.
Little bit of cultural appropriation here. Am I right?
Well, she's popular for doing the. Was it ahego? Is that how it's pronounced?
I don't know what that
face?
is.
That's the Japanese the tongue out face.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Here, like this. Hold on, I'll bring it up on the. I believe you're referring to this one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. She is a fairly popular streamer, and that was one of the ways she monetized her content. And
I mean, respect.
and again, yeah, I totally agree. Like, there's a lot of female streamers get shit on for the content they do, but they're playing within the rules of the game. And if
Money.
there's people that are willing to give them money
For bathwater,
for
sure.
bathwater, then you're only separating an idiot from its money. Like, that's all
I
you're
have
doing.
a bath. I mean, you just heard it here. I have a bath probably every other day in Epsom salts to soak my back. If anyone
If
would
anyone's
like to
looking
pay
for
me,
bathwater, there you go.
I will.
If we get hit up on fucking Instagram or Twitter, I'm.
On the
I'll do
TikToks,
it.
Clip that in the TikToks. Let's see how much reaction we get from that.
Yeah. Oh, I have a
There's
feeling this is going to be a TikTok heavy episode.
There's some perv out there that finds me good looking enough they want my bathwater.
Oh, for sure.
Some even
Huh?
think you look like Amy Schumer.
That's true.
And don't you want an Amy Schumer impersonator's bathwater?
Who doesn't?
It will have Epsom salts and probably a nice minty or eucalyptus additional bubble bath.
Ooh. That just
It's-
sounds delightful.
It's not helping as much. Just a minute.
Uh-oh.
No, see, Dave's also watching TV and he could be watching something.
Right.
Yes, I don't have the baby in my lap. I did have a trivia question for you guys.
Oh, I like trivia.
We just did trivia before this podcast, like 6 o'clock, a virtual trivia. What NFL team only has their logo on one side of their helmet. I feel Mark will know it and blurt it out.
I know it.
So it was a 3-parter. First part was what team does not have a logo on their helmet at all?
That's the Browns.
Browns.
What team different colors but has the same I believe University of Georgetown?
That's the Packers.
Yeah. And then
I think
who
it's
is
Georgia.
the team?
Georgia has
Georgia.
the G,
Georgia.
right?
Yeah.
Who is the team that has logo on only one side of
One
their
of the
helmet?
teams with the worst fan bases in the world, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Anyone else?
Is there another club?
No, I just wondered if you agreed.
Oh yeah.
It is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. I
And
thought
they-
there was someone. I'm like,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm racking
Is
my
there
brain. I'm
another
like, I was so certain that it's the Steelers. Am I
It's
wrong?
just one ram.
Yeah. Oh no.
One single ram. I still have this girl up. I can't believe she's white. She's white. She's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
mixed race. She's not.
I believe she's like English, like London based.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never watched her stream.
Is that all you have to do?
South Africa.
There you go.
South African.
I knew there's an accent there.
So,
Mm.
she's got that Lethal Weapon 2 accent. That's how I know that. It's
Diplomatic
like,
immunity.
seriously, that's the only reason I know what the South African accent sounds like is because of that movie.
I can say the word South African in a South African accent,
There you
and I
go.
know it as like, oh, this sounds like Australian, but it's like more clipped.
It's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a
It's like-
weird. I remember I had a guy come into my store one day, and he had a South African accent, and he was talking. I go, South African, and he's like, yeah. How'd you know? I'm like, Lethal Weapon 2.
She and her mother moved to England
Oh,
and settled in the most English name of all time,
Oh, yeah.
Lymington,
Lymington. Oh man, That
spelled
sounds great.
Lym,
of course.
like the Lyme disease way. Just speaking British, I wanted to tell Tyler I had, I think, the most British pizza I've ever had in my life.
That's a thing?
Yeah, so there's a brewery near us, and they do a pizza of the week named after movies. And this week's was Carrie for Halloween.
Cool.
It had caramelized onions, blue cheese, and blood pudding.
Wow, that is
Ooh.
very
Slices of blood pudding. And if you don't know what blood pudding is, Chris is making a gagging face. Mark, I know what shit you eat. You cannot judge this. What's the egg thing with that still has the fetus in it?
Valid.
Thank you. You can't.
Yeah.
No.
I don't need
Uh,
that. I mean, it's a
Yeah, but Mark,
know,
let's be
popular
be
Asian-
honest here though. You do eat the shrimp tail,
yes.
so there's that.
Oh. So blood pudding is sausage made of basically congealed blood. You know, it's very rich.
Disgusting.
Not to be confused, when an Irish breakfast, you can have white pudding, which is the fat.
Oh, just the fat.
It's like fat and oatmeal.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh God.
I think Chris is back on hating white foods again,
Oh.
like white color based foods.
Oh,
It's
so
white
gross.
pudding's like a beige. It's the suet or the fat, oatmeal and barley and breadcrumbs.
That sounds
It does not
terrible.
include blood.
That sounds awful. I
Have
would rather eat
you
my
ever
arm.
have you ever had blood pudding though?
No.
Yeah,
Mark?
I can't knock until I try it. So
It's like you've had liver.
Yeah.
I don't know, Tyler. You can
I figured
describe.
very bitter.
Yeah, I would say I would give it a liver-esque.
Yeah, it's
flavor.
very
Yeah.
irony. I think you can have like a slice of it, a very thin slice, and that's
You don't want
enough.
to have a sausage of blood.
Oh God, no! I think your heart would stop too.
The only
And-
time I can eat liver is if my mom chops up and mixes it in with the congee she makes. Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Sounds pretty good.
see, we have pate, and then with Dave's family, chopped liver is a very common dinner item on crackers and stuff. And then with the British side, obviously, you have pate and
Yeah,
liver
you can eat
paste
it
and
by
liver and
itself.
onions, and
Yeah.
we eat every part of that goddamn cow. Us English people.
Don't let it go to waste. I mean, that's
No.
Exactly. Like part of me feels real. I'm doing a good
Yep.
thing about it, aren't I?
Yep.
We're doing
When I
good
grow up,
things.
I want to go to Bovine University.
Yeah, doing a good thing. My question, and Tyler, I don't know if you know the answer. So pudding in England is dessert. Like if you say pudding, it doesn't refer to like
pudding. It's
just yellow
Yeah,
pudding
no,
cups.
Jello pudding. No, it's
That's my
Even more confusing is the Yorkshire pudding, right?
yes.
oh,
So-
but Yorkshire pudding is so fucking good.
so delicious.
Agreed.
Why is black pudding called pudding?
I don't know. I
because
don't think I
did
know
they-
the answer to that one.
Because
Did
the
they used to have
Brits.
it for dessert? Because the Brits are just like, fuck it,
Yeah,
you'll eat this.
they're just
Black
confusing.
pudding.
That's all it is.
It was a long time wondering why my nieces. I was like, you guys really like pudding, and then I was like, oh right, it's any dessert. Because once I asked for avocado they asked for things for pudding. So like, they wanted mashed up avocado for pudding, and I was like, what?
Oh,
Why am I putting
Weird.
that in pudding? Yeah.
Yeah, do you want me to put sugar in it? Like, do you make avocado pudding? What is this? There's no okay. I can't find French Bourdain. No. Anyways, we've looked that up enough, gentlemen. I feel I'm very angry this week.
Okay.
Very angry
Uh-oh.
because of what will be our deep dive topic.
Yes.
I'm furious.
I feel like I can just leave. Oh wait, it's not. It's not on either one of these. It's on the other one. But I feel like I could just leave the this up the whole time.
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Just leave it up the whole time.
I
So,
just like of
Yeah.
all the people.
well, okay. Let's do the
You
rundown.
seem-
Let's
seem
do the
so
rundown and then
smart.
let's get to it.
Okay.
Because like I mean, I
Okay.
want to get to it as well.
Okay. Let me just let's pull up the notes because there are some people who did the thing in the rundown.
Well, they did a different thing, didn't they?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they did the scandal.
I didn't even put the stuff about the Giants in here.
That's
oh my
okay.
god, like
That's okay. We got
stuff
lots.
happened. Stuff happened from like more people did the thing from when I sent the doc.
Yep.
You know, I got it updated, got it ready for the show. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the Scotch Sporting lead off, where we take 5 interesting topics deemed by me and no one else interesting for the week. I will introduce them, ask a question, and let you guys riff for a minute. So I mean, the first one won't be too riffy, but we wanted to follow up on the hashtag scandal of last week's episode because by gum, were we right? We record on a Wednesday. It's Wednesday, November 3rd. Last Wednesday, the bet was Quenneville would be gone by the time you listened to the podcast because we posted on a Friday, and he sure as hell was. He got fired on a Thursday. And so the follow-up to that is Quenneville's gone. Someone pronounce the other guy's names.
Shovel day off.
Chester-
I'm gonna shove day off.
Cheche?
No, shovel day off.
Shovel day off.
Shovel
It's
day off.
easy.
Like Chevrolet.
Shovel day off.
Shovel day off. No, still don't like it. So
Well-
he surprisingly kept his job,
Well,
but had a...
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, so they determined that where he was in the organization, he didn't have much power, anyways.
And
It was just
apparently,
like-
no one even knew he was even in the room except for when he gave his testimony. Like, oh, you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of went after him because, I mean, obviously rightfully, because everyone who knew and didn't say anything should have said more. But him and Quenneville were the only two people that were working in the NHL, correct? And that's kind of why it was
In the most
expected
club
that.
positions, yeah.
So I also just wanted to add, I did a touch more research on the fines that was levied. Obviously, $2 million against the Chicago Blackhawks for covering this up. And I sent the links if you guys wanted to check them out. And it's just the Rangers were fined $250,000 for...
Okay. We're recording again. The stream should be back up. There we go.
Ooh, okay. Where did we leave off with the fines, right?
Yes. We were talking about fines. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So the fines levied against the New York Rangers for publicly criticizing the Department of Player Safety was $250,000, which is 1/8 of what the Chicago Blackhawks were levied. Brad Marchand, I believe it was back in 2017, had $300,000 against him for a spear. Someone else had around that amount the next year of just so. Do you think so my question is, do you think the Blackhawks should be fined more? Are you happy with Cheveldayoff's? I thought the press conference was good. He seemed very sad and very apologetic. I mean, it's obviously not our business to forgive.
Right.
But do we as sort of John Q public let him off the hook? And just an interesting tidbit, I don't know if it's even worth talking about, and these stats were from 4 or 5 years ago, of players and the percentage of their salary that's gone to a fine. And you looking at hockey, 2 of the top 10 are people of color, which is 20%, whereas only 5.97% of the entire league are visible minorities. I don't know if there's anything there. I just thought it was
I don't think it really applies to what we're discussing here, but I
goodness
understand.
no! I just thought it was a weird stat I wanted to point out. And talking to Dave, I was like, I wonder if there's something there. And he was like, well, what about football? Because football's probably a fairly 50-50 split in terms of
right.
And I think of the 31 top. I don't know why there weren't 32. There was 2 white guys in that top percentage. It's interesting. So it was more touching back on our hashtag Blackhawks, our hashtag scandal about the Blackhawks. What do you guys think about Cheveldayoff? And what do you think? Should there be more fines? Should something happen to Bettman? Because he wasn't going to say anything. He just was going to pay and have this go away. So, gentlemen.
It's what lawyers do.
Yeah. That's right. It's exactly what lawyers do. Do I think they should be fined more? No, but I think that they're going to pay more with the lawsuits. So,
and that's what someone said. That's why it was only $2 million fine, because they're going to pay a lot more in civil lawsuits. And
because it's basically they're going to pay what he should have made as an NHL player.
Pretty much.
And they're by paying it, they're admitting that we did it. So basically opening themselves up to whatever amount of money. And apparently the $2 million, half of that, I don't know what's happening to the other half. Half of that is going to go to a charity in Chicago for victims of sexual abuse.
Do the fines for the teams go to the same place? Because the player fines go to the emergency fund. So do the team fines go to the same place?
I don't know. But they're taking half of it and giving it to sort of local charities. Well, we have a new scandal. Jesus fucking Christ.
As if one wasn't enough.
Also back in hockey, we can talk about the toxic masculinity that is surrounding hockey. Penguins ownership group is facing a lawsuit over alleged abuse. Erin Skuld, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, the wife of former Pittsburgh Penguins minor league assistant coach, was allegedly sexually assaulted by her husband's colleague. Jesus Christ. Is this my question for you guys? Is this a Me Too moment in hockey? Are we going to hear more about this?
100%. 100%. Now, what I'm interested about, I'm going to play the feminism role here, is this going to be a bigger deal or as big a deal as what happened to Kyle Beach? Or is this going to kind of get swept under because it's a woman?
It's going to get swept under. Yeah, it's going to be swept under.
And how does that make you feel, Tay?
I'm used to this. Okay.
This is just another Wednesday for you.
Yeah, terrible things happen to women. We get taken advantage of, especially in business and hockey and all this. So it's it's disappointing, but I think this is just going to get paid off and go away.
Is Garen going to lose his job?
No one's going to lose their job over this.
Bill Guerin allegedly said, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one's going to lose their job.
All right.
Since that's funny.
You like that? I was looking for, you know how hard I tried to find a fucking pun? I'm like, Vaughn Baby Vaughn or like, Vaughn in 60 Seconds.
That's very, very
like
funny.
where I landed.
So, Mother of God, and I remember it must have been a couple weeks ago with the Trevor Harris news, and I was like, "Why is this a big deal, guys?" And you're like, "Well, trades don't happen in the CFL,
Right?"
And this is the first kind of big name NFL move in a while, or at least it's like, hey, yeah, trades don't really happen in football much, period, during the regular seasons.
Yeah.
So Von Miller, former Super Bowl, he was a Super Bowl MVP, wasn't he?
He was.
Mm-hmm.
Former Super Bowl MVP is on the move from the Denver Broncos to Los Angeles. What do you guys think? Is he making him better? Is this the missing piece? Because he's on this part of his career, but he's still pretty great.
He's still good.
He's good, but he's not like Super Bowl MVP good. He's almost the equivalent of when J.J. Watt signed with the Cardinals. It's like, yeah, it's a upgrade, but it's not the peak guy that we wanted.
I genuinely didn't realize that happened until I saw a Cardinals game on TV a couple weeks ago. I was like, what are you doing there?
So have you guys heard what may have factored into this trade?
Was
something that happened at a party, didn't it?
So Von Miller throws a Halloween party every year, and it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to host this party, and he expects his teammates to chip in on the price.
Ooh.
And so apparently people weren't chipping in, and he made the locker room a little bit toxic. And so the word on the street is that factored into him being traded.
I remember before the season started that I would suggest that Von Miller be a trade chip for Aaron Rodgers, and you wouldn't have any of it. You're like, no, the guy who just renegotiated his contract, he's a buck for life. I'm like, he's probably going to be one of the first to go if a trade happens.
And look at that. Mark was right and I was wrong. What a shock.
Because a Halloween party.
Yeah. That's the
fun.
word on the street.
Well, thank fucking God it's over. Did anyone care about this World Series?
I just didn't want the fucking cheaters to win.
Yeah.
But we're happy so it ended yesterday.
That the racist guys won, though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it because a Deadspin article sort of listed it. Okay, so I'm just going to read this very quickly, and then I'll leave it to you guys. Are we happy, or are we just kind of what the fuck happened with baseball this year? So this is a Deadspin article. The World Series ended yesterday. The Atlanta Braves beat the Houston Astros in 6 games, pretty handedly too. I think it ended 7-0.
7-0, yeah.
Sort of Canadian Freddie Freeman with a home run. It was nice to see him get the hardware because he seems like a good guy. I say sort of Canadian because he has Canadian citizenship, but as far as I know, has not lived a day in his life here.
When he plays for internationally, he plays for Canada. So
when he plays for Team Canada, he's probably the best we got.
Looking
at you, Joey.
Oh, we got a couple of good guys.
I was going to say, looking at you, Joey Votto won't suit up for Team Canada.
All right.
Okay, so the Deadspin article, my mind is all over the place. It's hard to be happy about a Braves organization and a fan base that didn't just ignore the calls and reasons for their racist name, logo, and chant being wrong, ignorant, and hateful, but actually acknowledged that they heard it all, couldn't argue with it, and then did it anyways, in spite of anyone who pointed it out. I suppose it's a pretty big portion of America these days, not just accepting you're an asshole, nor not apologizing for being an asshole, but using it as an excuse to be an even bigger asshole. Combine it with the fact that they are playing in a taxpayer-funded stadium in a suburb specifically designed to keep black people away.
Damn.
What happened, and maybe this is more towards Mark, what happened to make you not care as much about baseball this year, especially the World Series? And are we just glad it's over and let's move on to the next season?
I sort of am, but I just want to put a little emphasis on people who want to use this as a big Alex Anthopoulos. This is the reason why he should have stayed with the Jays, because look what he did with Atlanta. He inherited a prospect-rich team. That's what the foundation was already there for him. He just added little bits here and there.
And what did he leave in Toronto?
Nothing.
Right.
So don't use this as Alex Anthopoulos, he's a genius. No.
Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of that shit too, and it's like, maybe pump the brakes, guys. Well, and the Blue Jays are going to be just fucking fine.
Yeah.
And it's also payroll, right? I mean, oh no, Blue Jays are a little bit. No, Blue Jays are below the Braves by
Well,
about
because all
$30
their
million.
best players aren't making money yet.
And I just
And
want
Braves
to
players.
chime in on one thing before we finish up with the
Clock out.
I don't find the Braves name racist.
No.
I don't find the name racist. The tomahawk chop we've discussed, and that I will say is definitely racist, but I don't think the name
Yeah, we
Braves is
touched on it.
racist.
We touched on it briefly last week.
Yeah, because you just threw it
but-
in. You
Well, because I was just very curious, but obviously Chris is our card carrying member of our Indigenous Canadians. Braves isn't racist.
right.
I don't think, again, I'm white. Please watch the stream just so you know. I don't think the logo's particularly racist, but please forgive me if I'm wrong. But my God, is the tomahawk chop racist?
Yes.
And the
The-
chanting.
The chanting,
The-
the whole thing.
It's the
the
you
whole
know what
thing.
the chanting reminds me of, and I think it's taken away from most of the things that you can see now, is the original Peter Pan cartoon with the horrible tiger lily dance.
Yeah.
And the chief, it's worth looking up just to be like, holy shit, this
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago. And that's what it reminds me of, is like, here's what white people think a different race sounds like.
Exactly.
Anyways. The chop's gotta go. And I did not know, and I will do more research on the stadium being in one of those zoned areas that many places in America have, where they set up subdivisions specifically for white people and try to drive black people out. That's not unique to Atlanta. So stop acting so smug, anyone that listens to this not in Atlanta. So our next one's sad, but I mean, we can just definitely talk about it. Henry Ruggs III dropped from the Las Vegas Raiders. Their wide receiver will be charged with a DUI resulting in death, according to the Las Vegas police, after he was involved in a car crash Tuesday morning that resulted in a fatality. So that's the awfully sad part. Ruggs' Chevy Corvette collided into the rear of a Toyota RAV4, resulting in the death of the person inside. So here's where it gets crazy that we can talk about, is his blood alcohol level was double the legal limit. And he was going double the speed. And what was it? He had a gun in the car?
Loaded
Yeah.
gun, yes.
Loaded gun in the car? I mean, there's not much we can say to make fun of this, because obviously this is horrific and someone died.
It's a tragedy.
But I mean, let's start the clock. And like, this is a tragedy with him too. Like, he clearly.
I like it's poor decision making.
Mhm.
And I just don't understand, like, I'll never understand you have your whole life in front of you. This kid's 22 years old. How do you make that choice? Everyone sitting here has been destroyed drunk in your lives. And Mark, I know you have. I was there.
Mhm.
And
The one time.
right. And not one of us is like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get in my car and drive. Like, I don't understand the thought process in driving drunk. I just don't get it.
Even if we can appeal to people's selfishness, it's not for me, and I will fully admit this to hopefully try and get through to even one person. It's not for me like I could hurt other people, because I've been to Vegas. I know this area where this accident happened. It's super rural. That time of night in Vegas, especially in that area, there is fucking no one on the road. And the crash happened on South Rainbow Boulevard, which is like multi-lane, no one around. Like, you might think I'm not going to hit anybody,
You could
but
go
for me, it's like
251 kilometers an hour.
I could hurt myself. Like, I
Right.
selfishly, I'm like, hey, I know that road, there's probably going to be no one around, but I could still hurt myself. I don't get why people aren't even more selfish.
I don't even think I
Even
can control a car sober going that fast.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, are you ever on a 400 series highway and it goes like, you accidentally groove into a good song and it goes in the 140s and you only
look
realize
down and
when you're
I'm
like, oh, holy shit.
Yep.
I am
I
drifting.
gotta get out of the left lane. I gotta fucking
Yeah.
slow the fuck down. That's why I love that I have cruise control now, because that'll never happen to me ever again. Because I just set it and that's it.
Agreed.
I don't know if you guys know more to the story with Ruggs and how he got into football, but this adds to the tragedy. But he credits his best friend for getting him into football. This best friend died in a car crash from a DUI.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh,
Just
That's why
brought
it's
it all down to another level. Like, what?
I know.
Like, there's got to be with a loaded gun in the car, being that drunk.
And apparently, he had a girl with him in the car.
There was, and she was taken to hospital, but apparently she's going to be okay. He, of course, walked away unscathed.
That's
It is clearly self-destructive.
it's the whole being drunk thing. As if you're sober in a car crash, you go rigid.
I
right.
heard that.
Yeah.
When you're drunk, you're lucid, so your body goes with everything, so you're fine. It's
And a Corvette,
ridiculous.
too.
but-
Those crumple like fucking tin cans.
yeah.
Like, I
Plastic.
just.
They're plastic.
It's sad. It's sad. And Mark brought us down. So let's channel this sadness. God damn it, Mark. Let's channel this sadness straight into anger.
all right. Perfect. That's the perfect way to go. Who are we starting with?
Well, let's start because I mean, I thought this was super relevant a couple days ago, but the entire roster of the San Jose Sharks did
Well,
the thing.
7 players and the
7
coach.
players and the coach, yeah.
Well, and
7
listen,
players.
7 players are in protocol. That means they either tested positive or had very close contact with someone who tested positive, correct?
Right. Yes.
Right.
Now, the other thing in doing the research for this is there's only one player in the NHL who isn't vaccinated. So these
Tyler
are
Bertuzzi.
right. These are a lot of breakthrough cases, I assume.
Yes. And it does breakthrough cases, and you're right. It's going into COVID protocol.
Right.
So it's the close contact, providing 2 negative tests, making sure you don't have it. And hockey just sucks, obviously, because there's multiple games a week. So
Yeah.
you're in protocol, you miss a game. It sounds like so the next one, Sidney Crosby seemed to have done the thing. I don't know if you can flash it up.
There we go.
Do we have our graphic?
Oh, sorry. You mean this one? Oh, it's the fuck. Every time I put the wrong one.
There we go. So Sidney Crosby did the thing. It sounds like he was vaccinated because, I read in a couple articles that the only one in the NHL, only player, is Tyler Bertuzzi.
Right.
But the article said that the most of the Penguins are vaccinated.
Right. So how could it be only player in the NHL?
I assume they mean the organization as a whole.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That would be my guess. So maybe there's like some coach or the Zamboni driver or something.
Yeah, there it is. All players in the league with the exemption of Tyler Bertuzzi.
Of course, it's a fucking Bertuzzi. If you're
I thought
his
you were
uncle,
gonna go the other way and say Tyler. I was gonna.
of course it's a Tyler who isn't unvaccinated.
Yeah, damn Tyler's.
But
Like
do
the
you think?
Karens, but of
do
the
you
male
think-
versions.
That's
Whoa,
right.
whoa.
Yeah, have we had the debate on the podcast? We had it in real life of what is the male version of Karen.
Kyle.
It's Kyle.
Yeah.
What about Garth?
No.
That's not.
That's
it's
too.
not-
Is that too?
Yeah, it's
No.
too obscure.
Yeah,
There's not enough
Kyle.
gar-
I'd go with Kyle. I like Kyle.
Dawn.
Don. Okay.
I don't know if I know any Dons, so I can't.
I don't know a single Don.
Hmm.
Don Lemon.
I don't know him. I know of him.
Well, okay.
I know him personally. Saquon Barkley did the thing. Not sure if he that just came after I sent around, and apparently the Giants are in danger of being outbreak monkeys.
13. I
But
can't even
apparently
don't
the
even have that many
retest-
fingers.
The test came back. It was only just the one coach, so they're good for Sunday.
Okay. I'm so suspicious about that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you're
I
telling
don't know,
me,
man. I don't know about fucking around with COVID. I don't know about
But the
fucking around with
monies.
COVID. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. So if they were, I think if they were gonna fudge it, that
Mhm.
they would fudge it to the point where we wouldn't even hear about the 13. Because they can't say 13 and then all of them are fine, and then if
All
if
but one.
that snowballs to next week, whoever they play next week, and then all of a sudden they've got 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too easy to put the pieces
Yeah.
together. So if they were going to fudge it, we wouldn't even hear about the 13.
I'm so
And again-
suspicious because of all the money that just don't do the
Just
thing.
don't do the thing.
So before we get to our star, it is not our. So as far as I know, please correct me if I'm wrong. None of us have tested positive for COVID-19.
No.
Two of 4 of us have been going to a place of employment this whole time. Tyler, I believe you're working from home.
Correct. I am working from home.
So we
dream.
Tyler and I have had the blessing of being an even extra level of sort of safety than Chris and Mark, you guys are. None of us have got COVID. And I know there are blessings we have of our own transportation. We don't have to rely on public transport. We're not living with multiple families. There's extenuating circumstances that I believe also apply to all these athletes, though.
Right.
Our level of affluence also applies to these guys.
I did live with my parents for 9 months.
True. I lived with my parents also for about 6 weeks, and Dave's parents for 4 weeks.
So I felt even more paranoid not wanting to do anything with my 70-year-old parents.
It is not our jobs to stay healthy, though. Where arguably with these athletes, their bodies and their health are literally their careers.
Literally their job.
And they still can't do it. What are they doing that is exposing them to this?
I mean, who knows, right? It could be anything.
Side chicks.
Side chicks. It's always side chicks.
Is it parties? Is it orgies?
I mean, let's not forget that in the States, it's very different than it is here right now. Right? The States, most of the states are wide open, like nothing's happening. So,
but we've been out to stores. I put on a mask. I wash my hands the second I set foot in a store. I wash my hands the second I leave the store.
But that's not the case in most states.
But
most
I'm saying
states are just walking.
That's what I do, and it isn't my job to be safe.
Right, but you also do that because the government is mandating that you still wear a mask and that you social distance and
right.
It's still mandated. In 6 months, when this shit isn't mandated anymore.
But Sidney Crosby is always going to have his job.
Right.
But let's say I don't have the list of the Sharks that were in protocol.
Right.
But I'm sure one of them isn't a superstar.
I'm sure all of them aren't superstars.
Swish.
Carlson.
God bless Carlson.
Yeah.
Did you just say Carlson's a superstar?
He's getting paid like
He's
one.
getting paid like one. Doesn't mean he is one.
But it's the athletes, who test positive for something, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't look at what was in it," and we shit on them for your body is literally your career. You should be every single little thing that goes into it, and that the opposite should apply of everything that doesn't go into it. COVID.
Right.
Do everything you can to not catch COVID.
I bet you Tom Brady did everything he could to not catch COVID.
Great segue.
Tom Brady,
because yes, he fucking did.
Right, because Tom Brady treats his body like a temple.
Here's why I'm so fucking angry, you guys. And mark the time and mark the date. It is Wednesday, November the 3rd.
10:31 10:32
at night, because I have a baby who wouldn't go to bed. Mark it.
It's marked.
I like Tom Brady.
You like Tom Brady.
My cold black heart has softened to Tom Brady for many reasons. I find his trolling and his sense of humor quite delightful lately.
Yeah.
He seems to get it. He seems to get himself. And even though he got COVID, he also got vaccinated.
Of course he did.
And he was open about getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
And he's eating bread again.
Whoa.
If you watch American Subway American stations, he's a Subway spokesperson, and there's some 1 calorie carb bread.
Oh,
that commercial that he did for Subway is fucking hilarious.
And you know who made me like Tom Brady? Aaron Rodgers. I'm so mad at this. for these reasons. So the big story, and it just like as the day progressed, just got more fucked up.
Yeah.
So the news broke that Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID. Okay, too bad. I believe Devontae Adams did too. 2 negative tests and we'll be fine. Oh, no. He's for sure missing the next game, which before we had confirmation means he's unvaccinated. Because if you, in the NFL, if you test positive for COVID-19, you just have to provide 2 negative tests, I believe, within a certain window of time, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not vaccinated, you miss 10 days, you quarantine for 10 days, no questions asked. So obviously when that came out, there was a lot of chin scratching of like, why would he need to miss 10 days?
That doesn't seem to add up since
people,
especially when he's been walking around without a mask.
And he said he was vaccinated. He said in an interview that he was.
He didn't say he was vaccinated.
He said
weaselly motherfucker. Despite telling reporters in August he had been immunized. And he did that classic, well, it's not my, whatever your choice is, I respect it.
Right.
I've been immunized. So in another chat with friends, one of my other buddies said, the media should have pushed that.
Mm-hmm.
And said, what do you mean you've been immunized? So as it got more fucked up, he allegedly tried to hide his status a bit. Like, the team clearly knew because they said he was in protocols for unvaccinated, like he was following the protocols. But then there's lots of reports saying he was on the sidelines in casual clothes. He wasn't wearing a mask. He was out and about. And then he did some holistic medicine, and he tried to get the NFL to approve that as his treatment. Is that Rodgers received homeopathic treatment from his personal doctor, okay, sure, Jan, to raise his antibody levels and asked the NFLPA to review his status. The Players Union, the NFL, NFLPA, oh, that one busy, jointly designated infectious disease consultant and the league agreed that Rodgers' treatment did not provide any documented protection from the coronavirus. So motherfucker just went home and like chewed ginger pills because his doctor who went to Gudger College for 2 years is like, oof, your chi is all out of whack.
Gave
that is
him
not
some crystals to put.
That is not to insult.
Yes, it is.
Homeopathy, because Lord knows I've tried. I took turmeric pills for 9 months when I was pregnant for my back, like, because I heard it helped inflammation. Like, more power to it. But you know what I did? I also went to fucking doctors.
And you also went and got the COVID-19 vaccine.
I did also go get the vaccination. I don't want to knock, people that might be suffering from cancer or another disease that like have exhausted all options and like, I'm going to exhaust this one too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are
when
things to be said.
Right. And listen, but when you know that the fucking vaccine's out there and it's 90 whatever percent effective, and you're like, I think I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this.
It might be 100, it might be 0, but
I'm gonna go with this because I like the way this guy talks about my chakra.
It's the Simpsons, like, this rock keeps tigers away. It's like, well, I haven't caught COVID yet, have I?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, oh, well, now you do.
No.
And I don't think I've told this story on the podcast. I apologize if I have. There's I don't know how specific to get. There's a bar that I have attended in a part of the city where I live, and friends are very good friends with the owners. And one of them just got one vaccine, had not had his second. The wife had not been vaccinated yet because she had some maybe thyroid issue and was going to like holistic treatment for the thyroid issue. And those, I don't want to say doctor, let's say medical practitioners. No, let's say
that's a good way to
practitioners said, we don't know how the vaccine is going to react to this treatment that we're giving you. So hold off on getting the vaccine until the treatment is done. Which is like, okay, fair, I suppose. But then I would have said, okay, where is your medical degree from? Oh.
Where's your witch doctor degree from?
Oh, you don't have one?
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to listen to the doctor, and I'll also listen to you. That, again, that is not to discount holistic treatment.
Right.
I get acupuncture in my back every other week. I don't know if it's working, but I'm going to try it because I'll try anything. I also went to a doctor. I'm so mad.
You really are. You're really angry about. Okay, so I had mentioned this in our group chat, but I have way more respect for Cole Beasley and Kirk Cousins and all these other guys
that said that. Yeah.
that were just like, you know what? Like, just fucking own it. You're not going to get vaccinated? Own it. These guys are owning it. So I actually have more, as much as I think it's shitty, I have far more respect for them for owning it than for Aaron Rodgers to be like, yeah, I'm immunized. Like my lawyer word, I'm immunized. Like,
this is my smart word.
fucking own it. Just be like, nah, fuck it. I'm not getting it. Fuck you. You can't make me do it. Be Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
In a world of Aaron Rodgers, be Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins was trending on Twitter, and I was like, oh god. And it was just mostly people saying, like, at least this motherfucker owned it and said, God will heal me. And Jesus will protect me.
Jesus is all I need.
And I believe that, I think that's Thielen and Harrison Smith. They're all very, very Christian. I don't know about Dalvin Cook. And I believe the three of them are in the camp of like, well, Jesus will heal me. Whereas Aaron Rodgers knew that COVID is bad, knew enough about COVID being bad to get help for it. Yes, Chris.
I have a question about the Jesus will heal me thing.
Yes. He won't. Is that your question?
People get like terminal cancer and shit, right? And then sadly, some of them die from it.
Yes. Yeah.
Why is Jesus not healing those people?
Because God works in mysterious ways.
No,
exactly.
Fuck that. Fuck that. That's the thing. Like, you can listen. You can believe in God. You can believe in Jesus. You can believe in all that stuff. But to literally be out there saying Jesus will heal me. Can we look at the scoreboard? Because I don't think that's the way it works, my friend.
Yeah, Jesus is winning if you look at the scoreboard.
That's right.
Highly recommend if you are on Reddit, go to the Herman Cain Awards subreddit.
It's so
might have mentioned this before.
So
it is
hard to read because I get so angry reading that because it's just like, how could you be so stupid?
I did not know the term prayer warriors until this subreddit where everyone is like calling all my prayer warriors. And again, it's not to make fun of religion.
No.
Because God bless you. Yeah. More power to you, pun intended. But please also believe in science. I think there's room for both in this crazy world of ours.
I went to Catholic school, and in Catholic school they taught us about science and how science and religion can actually coexist. They taught us that.
Scientology?
What's that? No, yeah,
it's Scientology.
It's exactly Scientology.
The Christian Science
no, but
library.
We like, you know, I because you hear about they don't teach in Catholic schools, obviously in the States, but they're like, they don't teach evolution. I fucking learned evolution in high school. They taught me evolution in Catholic high school. They didn't teach me God created the earth in 7 days. They taught us that that's a story in Catholic high school. That it's an allegory.
Very progressive.
Yes.
Not meant to take literally.
Not meant to be taken literally.
Tyler, are you Catholic school?
I am, yep.
Same
thing.
Same, like, open, please also believe in science as well as the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, like, if they didn't have that in there, why would they be teaching you science? They would be in uproar in Catholic schools teaching you like anything to do with science.
And how did these people all find their way into the NFL?
Talent.
Yeah. God-given talent. Yeah.
But I don't know many people that are sort of that fanatically religious. My best friend is probably the most religious person I know. She went on missions and stuff, but how do they seem to all be professional athletes? I guess, is it a guilt of I'm so good at something and I have this incredible talent? It has to be because of someone.
Maybe.
Jesus.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even think of that. See,
Are
that's
you-
what
is it a
happens
bit of
when
a,
you're
like,
mediocre at everything. You don't think that there's a higher power to give you gifts and stuff because you just
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
just
that.
like, yeah, I'm okay at everything, but
Not survivor's guilt, but is it that maybe like, why do I have this special talent and no one else does? Well, it's got to be God.
I doubt Aaron Rodgers thinks that. He doesn't seem like a god guy.
And that's why I'm so surprised that because he seems like a smart guy.
Yeah.
I blame what's her nuts.
the Shailene
Shailene Woodley.
I refuse to learn how to pronounce her name because the spelling of it just annoys me. But I mean, whatever. I shouldn't, as a staunch feminist, I shouldn't always blame the woman. But she's one of those. She chains herself to trees type of people. So it could have been one of those. Don't get the vaccine. Science is evil. Because he's not a god guy.
No.
Because he is estranged from his family. I heard because they are super religious and disagreed with, when he was living with Olivia Munn, it was in sin and he was very progressive. And I heard he is estranged from his family because of he's not religious. And when asked if Rodgers was selfish for not electing to get the vaccine, the coach said, I think everybody has to make their own personal decision, and that's just what it is. No, he's selfish.
Again, why are you lying about it? Why
hide it?
Why, like, own it. I don't get why you're lying about it.
Well, because he's not someone that handles criticism particularly well.
And that is true. That is true. And so he just didn't want to get ragged.
Yeah. He didn't want to be one of those guys.
Here we are.
It's so much work. Okay, so a couple questions. So Kevin Love. What's his name? It's Love.
Yeah, the backup.
Jordan?
Oh, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, thank you. So Jordan Love is supposed to get the start, and Burke Burbles is apparently on a plane on his way to Green Bay. He's going to join the practice squad so he can be available either as a backup or a starter.
Yeah.
Is this the beginning of the Jordan Love era?
If he lights it up, maybe.
I don't think so.
I
They're
was gonna light it up,
7-1.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. They're 7-1.
Okay.
You have to. Now he could light it up, but you have to go back to.
Let's not forget they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs with a terrible
defense.
And if Mike White can throw for 425 yards last week, and who's Mike White?
No idea.
Why can't Jordan Love? Exactly. Why can't Jordan Love?
And he can, but Ron has to get his team back when he comes out of this.
That was going to be my next question. Do you think the team knew?
Absolutely.
But the players, like his teammates?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Okay, so...
but because he's Aaron Rodgers, let's not step on his toes.
Well, do you think they were mad? Like, how do you think they're...
I bet you Jordan Love is just fucking thrilled. He's thrilled. He gets to start against the Chiefs, and if he looks good,
primetime game.
Yeah, like
primetime game.
If he looks
and he
good,
wins,
it's only good for him.
It's not only a selfish decision, obviously, because you were the position that literally every play, but it's a selfish decision because you're arguably their best player, and you are removing yourself from one, potentially 2 games.
Yeah.
Do you think it's on purpose?
Not only for breaking protocol because he was unvaxxed.
Because I don't know if you can prove he broke protocol.
Well, that's the thing. People are saying like there's no one that's going to tattletale on Rodgers saying like he walked around without a mask.
No one's going to say
well, and
that.
also like with Devontae Adams and Lazard, did they actually have COVID or they just went into call?
No, because Devontae provided the 2 negative tests, but because they played on Thursday, it wouldn't have been on time.
But you could argue he caught it from one of his teammates, but if neither of them had it and they were just in protocol.
Yeah.
But Rodgers actually has it, correct?
Yes.
What a fucking... And I was just on Instagram and I saw his Halloween costume. Like, he was clearly just out for Halloween. What a fucking moron.
Maybe he got it trick-or-treating.
Ugh. Ugh.
By the way, side note, I was trick-or-treating with my son. And
Yeah.
we walked by a house that had their fucking Christmas tree up already.
What?
It's Halloween. Why is your Christmas tree up?
Not cool, man. Not cool.
But
Maybe
your
they don't
kid...
celebrate Halloween.
Maybe they're... Well, I was going to say maybe they're Jehovah's Witnesses. But then they probably wouldn't have their...
But they won't have
big
Christmas,
Christmas
lights
tree
either.
out
They
either
wouldn't
way.
have Christmas either.
They could be like in the Halloween movie. They don't celebrate Halloween because of how traumatic it was. So they go straight to Christmas. So that's why she wears that Christmas sweater in the movie.
Right. Which Halloween was that?
The one that came out 2 years ago with
Oh,
that
okay.
shitty sequel.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
One
I
where
saw
he's
that
been
one.
terrorizing them for 40 years.
Yeah.
Judy Greer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judy
Yeah.
Greer. She's wearing the Christmas sweater because they don't celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, that whole movie, I was like, Judy, you are better than this. But I guess she needs the money.
Who doesn't?
Everyone
I mean, if
needs
they
the money.
came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to play Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in this Halloween movie?" I'd say yes.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, this much money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I watched the first bit of that with Dave, and when they all, it's just, the beginning is just Con Air on a bus.
It's
like
so
they put-
bad.
Spoiler. They thought it would be a good idea to take all of the worst criminals from this prison and put them on a bus. And I was like, that bus is fucking
That bus is
crashing.
crashing.
Obviously, the bus is crashing, and obviously, all of these killers
I've
are getting
seen
away.
The Fugitive. I've
Yeah.
seen Con Air.
Transport them in the middle of the night because that's, the optimal time of doing this.
None of this makes
Middle
sense.
of the night, foggy. We're gonna take rural roads. Should we have like at least 2 guards per prisoner? No, let's have like
Nah.
1 guard,
Yeah.
and then the team doctor on the fucking
What
bus.
about a police escort? Could we get one of those maybe?
No,
No.
there wasn't even a police escort.
Doesn't make any sense.
They didn't close the road.
Such
And
a
then they-
terrible film.
They
The
also
2018 one wasn't that bad.
The first two acts is decent.
yeah.
That third act just
Oh
kills
no,
it.
it's awful. It's awful. But I liked the beginning. I liked that
they
first little
kill
bit.
they kill a kid like right away.
Yeah.
That's no, don't kill a kid within the first like 10
That means-
minutes.
Did you watch it?
Yes,
maybe-
I did.
Okay.
You don't see the kid die. He just does.
Oh, you
he just
see his arm
doesn't-
get ripped off?
Oh, that's true.
I think he died from that. I'm not. I'm
He
not a
might
doctor.
not have
What?
died from that, but
What
he
the
definitely
fuck? Why
died
am I-
very shortly after.
Where do they kill the kid? Face Off. They kill a kid right away too.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's
yes.
right. Yeah.
Well,
And then,
just
hold
at
on,
least
let me just bring this new kid home at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
and it's like we never lost a kid.
Yeah.
Look, hon, I
same.
brought home a new kid.
I brought home our son.
Waterfall.
That kid is fucked up. Face Waterfall. Okay, so are the Packers winning or losing?
Well, the line jumped from a pick'em to -7.5 for the Chiefs.
Wow.
Oh wow! I'm taking the Packers on that.
Tyler?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm gonna take the Packers too, but yeah, that's a tough call.
So if the Packers win, is Jordan Love going to have a good game?
Though he'll have to.
But he could just
Yeah.
do a bunch of passing shit. I mean, like,
yeah,
is
but
he going to
I
throw
mean,
up some great numbers? Or not passing, you
Remember,
know.
Mike White threw
Rushing shit.
455 yards without having to throw the ball more than 15 yards. It was all dump offs to running backs.
wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is it going to be a lot of, like, dipsy doodle,
Yes.
handoff?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Especially when you have Aaron Jones and
Yeah,
what's
is
his face?
everybody's back? Is everybody back?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think so.
Or Rodgers, yeah.
Okay, then when will we see
Yeah.
Rodgers back? Is he just going to miss this one game?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, once his 10 days are done.
And how does he come back from this? I want everybody's, if you put yourself in, let's start with Mark. Put yourself in Aaron Rodgers' shoes.
Mhm.
How do you come back from this?
He comes back and has a great game because he's that asshole who says, fuck all you guys and watch me do my thing. Boom.
Chris?
He's gonna say, "Relax, everything's fine," and then he's gonna do the belt thing.
Discount, double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Tyler?
gonna run a couple of touchdowns in himself. He's gonna say, "I don't need the team. Fuck you guys."
And then
I
he's
am
going to
the
be in
team.
Denver next year.
I'm going to Denver next year. See you later.
And then he'll lose to Tom Brady again before the Super Bowl.
I don't
I
know.
now,
I mean,
what
it
do-
could be an Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady Super Bowl because he'd be in the AFC then.
Well, no, but I think we're talking about this
This
year
year.
still.
This year, yeah.
Okay, so my
I'm
final question is: I
not
need you
even
guys
sure
to
that.
help me out because I'm struggling with the Minnesota Vikings this year for numerous reasons. Man, it was uncomfortable in my home on Sunday night.
I feel like
There's a lot
this is
of-
a yearly occurrence.
A lot of swearing, a lot of Cooper fucking Rush, a lot of like Dave woke up the next morning and was muttering. But as we know, I was struggling because there are a lot of like big name Vikings that were openly unvaccinated. Sidebar, they're opening up vaccinations to kids, and the governor is issuing some incentives to get vaccinated, and one of them is meet famous Minnesota athletes. And part of the reason why Kirk Cousins is trending was like, are they going to meet Kirk Cousins?
Because that
Like, you enter
seems-
into a contest to meet.
Yeah, that seems counterintuitive.
And as a joke, I was like, okay, I'll cheer for the Packers because I've always liked Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. Well, not anymore.
Now, not anymore. So what do I do? What do I do? Do I
You cheer for the Lions.
Yeah. Dave suggested Matt Stafford and the
And
Rams.
Von Miller.
Because Matt Stafford, like he's a good guy
Yeah.
I don't approve of that though.
and a good
Why?
quarterback who was
I'm
just
a
with a
Niners
terrible
fan.
team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, wait, why? Oh, yeah, Niners. Yeah, but they suck this year.
No, they don't.
Well,
They're just in a tough division, and they can't stay healthy for. Oh my god! Like they're like the Ravens with a running back. Like
yeah.
can't get one healthy guy.
Gentlemen, any other sports news we want to talk about?
I was gonna say, did I send you guys a tweet about the whole Minnesota Vikings losing to Dallas back-to-back years and how it was the namesakes?
Yes, please. Let's end on this because this is one of those. I don't know if you the urban legend about like the coincidences between Lincoln and Kennedy, and like,
Yeah.
one of
yes,
them had a secretary named Kennedy, the other had a secretary named Lincoln, and I believe one of them was shot, from a factory and they fled to a theater, and one was shot in a theater and fled to a factory, and there's so many like eerie coincidences. Most of them are debunked, but Mark, please, it reminded me of this.
So last year, Dallas played in Minnesota, and the ginger quarterback for the Cowboys was Andy Dalton,
Right.
and he threw a touchdown pass to Dalton Schultz. Last-minute game-winning touchdown, won the game.
So a backup ginger named
Yeah.
Andy Dalton threw a game-winning touchdown to Dalton Schultz.
Yes.
Okay.
This year, another ginger backup, this time Cooper Rush, throws to Amari Cooper for the game-winning touchdown in Minnesota to win the game.
Whoa. It's interesting.
Fact checked.
Fact checked.
It's... All right. I didn't
That's
blow
when
my
you-
mind or anything.
That's
Sorry.
it. See, for me, if you want to believe in God, that for me, if I am a fan, I'd be like,
That's your
God,
sign of
like,
God.
there we gotta be like, yep, sorry, we played a fucking ginger backup from Dallas. We can't, like, that's a sign. That's a sign that you're not supposed to beat a ginger in Dallas or from Dallas.
Or they should have figured it out and double covered Amari Cooper because
Yeah,
Same
that's
name.
true.
Yeah.
I thought for sure Mike Zimmer was going to lose his job the very next day, and the fact that he still walks amongst us as an NHL coach or NFL coach is just mind blowing. Gentlemen, please don't do the thing,
Yeah.
but please do the thing. Unfollow us, Twitter, Instagram. I keep saying Twitch, TikTok, because I'm in my 30s, so the tickety tockety. YouTube, all of the socials. We are at Scotch Sporting. Please, for fuck's sakes, get vaccinated.
And don't lie about it. Don't
Especially
lie about
if you're
it.
an elite level athlete.
And don't lie about it.
I'm immunized. Because originally I thought, like, Twitter was saying, like, oh, it's because he had it. And he's one of those dipshits that thinks, oh, if I had it already, I have the antibodies. No, it's so much worse. So
So-
please so much worse. So please check us out on all of the social medias. If you like us, tell someone else that you like us, and go hit up our Tickety Talkety, because we'll be doing some fun clips of all of our things. But otherwise, thanks for listening, everybody.